My name's Darren and welcome back to my channel. On the last video I talked about the fact that I was considering getting a winter hack, I think I called it, but more actually just a bike I can do some work on over the winter period, but also use to commute and go out for rides where I don't really want to take my other two, the main bikes, out in the colder winter. More so just because of the winter, but also just the salt on the roads and everything else. So I was having a bit of a think about what to get, as I mentioned in the last video, and it has arrived. So I thought today just do a very quick video to introduce you to the winter bike. And here she is. It is a 2000, so 25-year-old Honda VFR 800 in the very, very nice bluey greeny colour, which is what I was hoping to get. You join me today on my way through to Cirencester to get some new tyres, chains and sprockets on the VFR 800. As you remember from my last video, I bought this as a winter project, but it needs some new tyres because the tyres on this at the moment are shot and it's handling like an absolute pig, even though I put some fresh air in the but topped up the air in the tyres. I'm in a very pretty town of Lechlade-on-Thames at the moment. I'm not sure if it's a town or a village actually. I'll probably get in trouble whichever I say. So you just say you join me in Lechlade-on-Thames as I make my way through to Dale's Motorcycles, which is just outside Cirencester. Great little garage for any sorts of motorcycle repairs, tyres and MOTs and the like. But they're really good, and so I'm on my way down there just to see to get the tyres and chain and sprockets done, and hopefully the bike will be handling substantially better than it is at the moment. But this is my first ride, proper ride out on the new VFR 800. I'll say new to me. As you remember from my previous video, there's a few things I'm going to be doing to this over the winter, and use this as my winter commute and tourer. So come along with me for the ride, and this will be a short video, this, just as I sort of make my way down to Dale's, and then on the way back and see how improved the ride and handling of the bike is. You seem to remember I hope you remember from the previous channel when I had the new tyres put on the Aprilia. In that one I looked at a whole different range of tyres, and in the end went for the Metzeler Road Tech 02s. This time I did look at those again, but they're quite expensive, and really for what I'm going to use this bike for, and the performance of this in comparison to the Aprilia, I thought it was probably slightly overkill. So I've gone for the Bridgestone T32s. Bridgestone are also actually very good tyres, the T32s. I know the T33s have come out very recently, but they're doing some good price on the T32s at the moment, which are very good all-weather tyres, which is basically what I want for riding in the winter and the more inclement weather. So hopefully better than this bloody thing at the moment. So let's see what difference that makes. Anyway, I'll leave the video rolling for a little bit as I head through Fairford and then down to just outside Cirencester, a little village called Preston, which is where the bike is, and then I'll pick up with you on my way back and see what a difference it's made to the bike. But I'll catch up with you all very soon. Cheers, bye. to rejoin me when I'm about 5-6 minutes away from getting the tyres and sprockets done. So first impressions, this is my first proper ride of the VFR 800. As you remember, it's the 2000 VFR 800 Fi, so it's the 5th generation with the gear-driven cams. And I must admit, they do sound really good. You probably can't hear, it's a windy day today, you probably can't hear the sound that the cams are making, but they are really quite a nice sound on this bike. Handling, I can't really talk about at the moment because of the tyres, but in terms of comfort, it's got the comfort saddle on it, which is really nice actually, and the actual riding position, I can see why these are favoured with commuters and people from touring all over the world. You can see out the mirrors, you can, yeah, it really is a nice comfortable ride, so it'll be good to see what it's like with the with its new shoes. But so far, I'm impressed. For the princely sum of, you know, literally 700 quid that I paid for it, I'm really quite happy with this. Anyway, I'm almost at Dell's now, so I will sign off now, and yeah, I'll catch up with you once all the work's done and I'm on my way back home. So, catch up with you again soon. And we're back on the VFR. So, new shoes, so new set of tyres front and rear. As I said earlier, the Bridgestone, what did I say they were? Bridgestone T32s, that's right. Bridgestone T32s front and rear, and we've also had new chain and new sprockets front and rear. So making sure everything's done and dusted. Brilliant service at Dell's, really good again. He always checks and makes sure what actually needs doing. So he did have a full check of the chain and that beforehand before replacing it. He said there was a few bits where I could see that it was starting to get a bit kinked and a bit stiff. So if I didn't do it now, I was going to have to do it at some point anyway. So while they had all the back end off doing the tyres, might as well go do the chain and sprockets as well. So fantastic job to get all that done. And I must admit, I've only done what 2-3 miles so far since going, so I'm taking it a little bit easy because obviously new tyres, so let them run in for 100 miles or so before doing anything silly. But the bike feels so much more balanced, really does. Just the way it turns in, it's a lot lighter, it's a lot smoother. So far, first couple of miles, really impressed. And I must admit, you know, it's obviously my first proper ride of the VFR 800 since I got her, and it's really good to do a bit of a quick day trip out. Sorry about that, wasn't sure what the car was doing in front of me, sorry, coming out from the side a minute ago. So yeah, really good to be back on the VFR, out for a bit of a ride. Got Dylan with me today, my positivity pickle, and I must admit, even though it's a cold and dampish day today, it's lovely to be back out on the bike and to really get to feel what this bike's like. Slightly regretting not putting my heated gloves on because I must admit my hands were, on the way down, I didn't mention this, my hands were getting absolutely freezing even though I've got winter gloves on. This has got heated grips, this bike, but they're not working, so one of the things I need to do as part of the work I need to do on this is to get that fixed. Well, actually just replace the grips with a new set of Oxford hot grips. So part of the work I'm going to do to this bike, so I've got a touring screen which I picked up from eBay. I'm going to change to the the light clear indicators rather than the colour ones on here. I've got to put the rack on for the top box and the tank bag. Probably change the brake levers to shorty levers and a few other little jobs I know. The main thing this bike needs actually is a really good clean. It's absolutely filthy, so I want to give this a really good clean, give it a good scrub, put some ceramic coating on it, and then put some ACF 50 on for the winter, because this is the one I'm going to be using to go to and from work and for day rides out. In my view, I really want to make sure it's protected against the weather. One thing I'm really impressed with, funny enough, is, and I was going to change them because they're quite scratched, but actually is the mirrors. You know, it's one of the few bikes I'm riding I can actually see. Now, having noticed it, it's actually got the risers on them, on the mirrors, so that does give a little bit of extension, and that makes such a difference for me to be able to see clearly what's going on behind. But really, in terms of first impressions, certainly now the tyres have been done, it really does feel like a transformed bike, even in the few miles I've done. And actually the bike feels lovely, as I mentioned afternoon. As I mentioned on the ride down, the comfort seat is really nice. The riding position, in terms of where you can tuck in behind the fairing, really comfortable. The only thing I wish this had, and I don't know why it hasn't got it, 'cause it's a 25-year-old motorbike, and it hasn't got a gear change indicator, so I never know what gear I'm in. But that's just a minor thing really. I know you can get aftermarket ones, so I might have a look at that, but putting them in aftermarket ones, they do look a bit rubbish sometimes. So I'm gonna have a bit of a think about that. But oh, this bike handles so much nicer now, and particularly with that noise of the gear-driven cams. This has got the standard Honda exhaust on it. It's actually a new one, funny enough. The people who had it before did actually replace the exhaust with a new standard one. Now I do have the Beowulf one with the removable baffles, which may have to go on just for laugh to see what that's like really. And the other thing I need to do is got the Quick Locks phone holder in it at the moment, which I was using for my nav on my way down. Unfortunately I know my way home, so I don't need it. But I do have a CarPlay system to go on this, as I've got on across all my bikes, because I do find it incredibly useful. But to be honest with you, I think that's probably about it for this ride. I'm going to do a bit of a longer ride in the next week or so, which I will take you on a bit of a journey with me, because I want to sort of take this on the motorway and give it some beans and see what it's like. But I'll probably do some of the cleaning, some of the improvements to it first, because this is predominantly a bike for winter. But it's I'm certainly incredibly impressed so far. For a 25-year-old bike, it really doesn't feel it at all. So anyway, yeah, so follow me on this journey on how I make some changes and improvements to it, and how I get on with some winter riding. I do wish I put my heated gloves on today. One of the things I need to put to this is my connector to connect on. I've got the Machna heated vest and heated gloves. Didn't quite go for the heated trousers and heated socks. I think it's probably a little bit too far. I'm not likely to be riding in -10 degrees. I can always put thermals on. But I will put those connectors on, so at least I can wear my heated gear in the winter. Just part of a few changes and modifications I'm going to do to it. But for now, you know, for a 700 quid bike, I'm really, really, really pleased and impressed. So I shall see how we get on. So anyway, I'll leave it there for today. Please like and subscribe. I'll be putting more and more content out about the Aprilia and the VFR and various other sort of trips and journeys and other things that I'm doing over the coming months in the winter. So if you like what I'm doing, please leave comments, please like, please subscribe. The more I can build the profile of the channel, the more it gives me the ability to do things like this, because I like to know that there's an audience it's going out to. But in the meantime, take care everybody, be kind, stay safe, and remain positive. You know, it's a bit of a rubbishy world out there at the moment, and you know, for me, motorcycling is for my mental health, it's for my mental well-being, as well as my enjoyment, and I encourage everybody to try and do something positive, because it does make a difference. But for now, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. See you all soon. Bye. Yeah, dying.